You may not be able to homeschool your kids or whatever, but those little things right there and being present and knowing what's going on with those teachers and at the school is very big. And the kids, it builds their confidence up, knowing like, my mom not about to let nobody do me no kind of way. It's a different way they're going to hold themselves in class and all that. So I'm really big on that. So now it's like, I don't have to be mad at the school because we can change. If this don't work this week, guess what? We doing something else. Hello and welcome to the Bold Black Girls podcast. I'm Aries.
And I am Kim. Hey there.
Happy Sunday Fun Day.
Right? Didn't we just end our Sunday Fun Day? We're still in our Sunday Fun Day clothes.
We did. And I was like, I'm ready for a nap.
But that's usually me.
I know. I've been acting like you lately. I told you I what time was that last night that I texted you, or was that the night before I said I pulled a Kim?
That was the other night.
Yeah.
Or was it this morning?
Saturday morning. So I've been this weekend, like Friday night, I fell asleep too. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm going to go to bed at 8:30. I remember our friend Chris, he had text because he had, first of all, he had called and said, what you doing? And it was like about to be 6 o'clock. And when I tell you I was pulling my covers back to get up under, I had already showered.
Literally.
I had worked out. I had did the Beyonce Peloton ride. And then I showered. The boys was getting ready to leave. I walked them out the door. I was on the phone with him. And then, no, I was on the phone with him when I walked him out. But I had just pulled my covers back to be like, I'm about to get comfortable. It was like not even all the way 6 o'clock yet. He was like, I'm about to come swoop you up. We can go get something to eat, right? And I was like, I am in my pajamas and I am about to lay it down. Like my body's tired. I think from the workout, the week, everything. So then he had went and took pictures of the food because he went to Pangea. Restaurant.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is good. And I was like, oh, great. I just remember seeing the picture and then I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's a Kim.
Setting up for bed.
So basically you were kind of like on a schedule of a baby. That's what I call it. My baby schedule. Down for like 4 or 5 hours, up for a couple, refresh, then go right back down.
Yes. So I did that and I went back at 3 something because I was like, I was awake. Like I was
awake.
What's going on, guys? What are we doing? And so I was like, nah, that's a setup because I'm gonna be sleepy, later. So I went to bed, got back up. Then Saturday night. So Saturday, I was just in the house all day. I was washing clothes, doing little things here and there, And then I went to bed at 9:30 and I woke up this morning at 4.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, let me go back to sleep. So I went back at 7 because I knew we were going to be out today. So I was like, nope, that's a setup again. You stay up from 4 until it's time. You're not going to make it.
You are going to be tired.
Yeah. So I was like, going to get that extra couple hours in. And then I was ready, to get active today.
Today was an active day. Yeah. So my sleep schedule. So Friday night, some colleagues, my old colleagues, we got in the backyard. So one of my colleagues lives literally on the other side of where I live. And she was like, guys, if you want to meet up, we thought about going to Topgolf. And I was like, I'm just really kind of uncomfortable with the increase of numbers and the people being out. And I'm like, and it costs. She was like, well, we can just get in the backyard, bring our little lawn chairs. And we formed a circle. And I fell asleep.
While you was out there?
Yep.
That's so typical. You will fall asleep anywhere.
And I was just like, my body shuts down at a certain time. Like literally,
Like a child.
honestly, yeah, like 6 o'clock, it starts to decline. So it's normal for me to say, get off of work, go take a bath, and get in my pajamas by 6:37, and I'm asleep. And I could probably sleep all the way to about 4 a.m., 5-ish. I might pop up, need to go to the restroom or whatever, but I can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I think my body thrives off of sleep. And I just realized too, like, kind of going through this whole hormonal thing.
Yeah.
It causes fatigue. And so when I talked to the doctor, she was like, "Are you fatigued?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yes." So we got to know our bodies and what our bodies are kind of like going through. And I know I need rest.
I'm listening. Yes. I'm like, you know what I got to do? I don't have nothing to do, especially on the weekends. Like I don't really have a lot going on. So Saturdays are my day to do nothing, most of the time. So typically I have discipleship group on every other Saturday, and they moved it to today and tomorrow or something like that. Anyway, it didn't happen yesterday, so I had more free time to kind of just chill, catch up on my reading. I got in the tub early. Yes. I probably was in the tub by 12 yesterday. Had the candle lit, everything. Opened the blinds. I was in there reading my book, catching up on Ready to Love, and all that.
Yes.
I think I had done a Peloton. That's my new thing.
That's your new hobby.
It is my new hobby. So I did a cardio workout. And then after that, that's when I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for a bath.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. So I'm sore.
Yeah, because today we actually met up with a good friend of ours, Carolyn. We hadn't seen Carolyn in quite some time. She recently was married. Right. And we've been knowing Carolyn for 7 years? I think it's been about 7-8 years. We met at the gym, 24-hour fitness here in Allen. And we just established a bond. So today we all decided to meet for breakfast or brunch. Most women, Black women, we love brunch.
Right.
But we added a component to it today. We decided to add in golf. You and I went last week. So we did it again this week.
Yeah, it was fun. I was like,
it was
my rhythm again. I was feeling like it was way better today than it was last week for me, because I hadn't been in a minute before that day. So
exactly. And I tell people all the time, like, you need to practice, right? So if you don't practice, it's not going to get better. It's going to get better each time. So I'm looking forward to continuing this trend. I know we said we were going to do like every other week.
Yeah, but next weekend my dad will be here. He'll be here on Wednesday. So I was like, he would love to instruct us.
And I would love to listen and receive.
Exactly. I'm like, let's get this free golf.
Get him a nice little love offering.
Girl, please. The love offering is just being able to get out there. Hopefully it won't rain or nothing like that.
I know. I didn't even check the weather. So I'm looking forward to that. So, with it being in the pandemic, we have to find ways to have socialization safely because we know that numbers are increasing across the board, right?
Yeah.
Here in the U.S.
What are your kind of safe socializing other than like the golf thing? Do you have any other like socializing activities that you're doing, or groups or anything?
Outdoor workouts? Golf is always good. And sitting in the backyard or going to a park. Like I literally keep my lawn chair in the back of my car because I'm like, you can always find a park and just make a circle.
Yep. That's so true.
You can make a circle.
Meet up if you want to meet up with folks and stuff.
If the weather is nice.
Most of my stuff has been like indoor. I don't be going nowhere. I've been indoors.
You don't.
But like I have my life group on Wednesdays. Discipleship group is every other Saturday. Just the socialization piece where I'm meeting up with people every week. We're talking about different things. It's almost like therapy to me because you got a chance to kind of just connect with others, right. and pray for each other or, help each other with different things and stuff like that. So like having certain groups, the Peloton for me has been really good with the workouts because it is a community. Like there's 2 Facebook groups, the Black Girl Magic Peloton group for the women, and then there's a Black Peloton Riders group. So join both of those since we, connected.
You're so silly. Okay, I have to do that.
Yeah, because they'll be like, who all gonna be on the such and such ride tonight? And then everybody go sign up. It's like and then the hashtag
community.
it's like you can see who all from that hashtag is in the ride, and then we be high-fiving each other and stuff like that. It's like super fun. So I need something like that to get
some type of community as well. So really you have a community. It sounds like you have an agenda. I've definitely scaled back on networking events. I can't say that I have attended anything networking, and it's actually felt pretty good. Other thing I do, I forgot to mention, my new hobby, outdoor bike riding.
Yes.
So if someone has a bike, we can always go meet up. I can throw it in my trunk. So that's my new hobby.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why what you were saying kind of before this was about like COVID, you know, the numbers. I don't know, man. I feel like, are we taking this serious?
Well, I mean,
because I'm going to tell y'all, and some of my friends listen to this podcast. They out here. People are kicking it. And I don't judge. You know, we talked about that. I'm like, I don't judge. But at the same time, it's like we'll say something about people, you know, the Trump supporters who don't believe it and don't want to wear their masks and all that stuff. But the happy hours is still popping, and the clubs is open, and you know, the gatherings, I'm still seeing them happening. And I understand not wanting to like be stuck up in the house and isolating yourself, be in fear, you know, and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know how serious we're really taking it. I mean, we've seen over the weekend a couple people like
the singer Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Oh my God. He is not doing well.
And he collabs with everyone. Like you can always.
What you say? His collaborations? Yes.
He frequently collaborates with several artists.
They say he is in ICU. He is not doing well. He's on a ventilator. Like, and he's a young man. This is not no old person.
Oh my God.
I feel like he's probably definitely younger than me.
I think he's definitely both younger than both of us.
I don't know if he had pre-existing conditions. I don't know any of that, but I know he's not doing well. Erykah Badu announced that she had some positive results from a COVID test. I think Elon Musk, said he had some, like a lot of people, you're seeing more and more people saying they had positive results. And I understand that, you know, like I said, I don't judge, especially if somebody say they have it, because you just don't know. And that's the scary part, right? It's like you still want to be able to go do things, but also, you know, it's a balance. So I don't know what to say about that, but I know that I see a lot of my friends out here kicking it. And so I'm like, all right, guys, like I think we're feeling a little too comfortable with, you know,
he's 33 years old.
Jeremiah. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I honestly think he's from Chicago. Okay. I was gonna say, if I recall correctly, he is from Chicago.
Yeah.
I really hope he makes it out, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like I love his music.
I do too. And when I saw that, I just was kind of in shock, because I saw Chance the Rapper, 50 Cent, who, you know, he don't be giving nobody no kind of props and nothing, asking for prayers and stuff like that. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, please, you know, like we don't know how this thing would affect us. And that's the part that I'm like, you might be one of the people that don't have symptoms, but you might not. And that's the part I'm like, I don't have time. I can't be out. Like, I just don't have time for it. I just don't want that at all. So be careful, guys. All I'm going to say is, you know, wear your masks
and social distance.
Wash your hands and try to social distance as much as possible, because it is real. This thing is out here still. And their cases are, they had yesterday said it was 190,000 cases.
I saw that
in a day. So,
and I know Chicago is shutting down from now until like after Thanksgiving, because they're concerned about people congregating for Thanksgiving. And I know we talked about this on our previous episode about like Thanksgiving in the pandemic, like planning your Thanksgiving. I'm grateful just to be healthy, so I don't need to really congregate. I'm okay with being at home. There's tons of things on Netflix. Feel
like cooking, to be honest. I'm coordinating what I'm gonna do already. I'm like, y'all listen to what I'm saying to you. Popeyes, you can get a whole turkey, a Cajun turkey they have during the holiday.
I saw that.
Take it and put it in your oven for however long they tell you to put it in there, and that thing is the bomb. I used to get it all the time back in the day. And I said, you know what? Let me think about that again. Let me look and see. They still doing it. So I'm definitely going to call the one right here and be like, just go pick one up that I can go throw in the oven. I ain't doing all that work this year. I got my girl Sarah. She going to make a butter pound cake. My daddy going to be here. So I'm like,
can you save me a slice of that?
I sure will.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to eat all that. I've been losing. So I can't be out here eating
right
anyway. And I just don't feel like cooking all that. Like I
really don't either.
All that food, to be honest with you. I could live off of dressing.
Exactly.
So that's it. I don't want to be doing all that work. My body is telling me to listen to it and don't be up. And I'm not about to be sweating and slaving over no kitchen. I'm just not doing it. My dad's coming, but he already told me, he was like, I'm about to take one of these tests before I come. Thank you.
Good.
I'm like, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because all it takes is one person. So
I agree.
Just trying to
we're gonna lay low as we usually do. And I'm actually very happy about it. I plan to watch some stuff right on Netflix that I haven't had an opportunity and just really use it for rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna bond with my family. I'm going to just chill. That's the plan. Speaking of COVID and super spreading events, the Million MAGA March that was this weekend. First of all, can y'all use your own name and quit trying to use our stuff? That's ours.
Yeah, the Million Man March.
Don't try to rebrand.
Come up with something else.
Come up with your own stuff. Shoot, I was like, don't be associating with our stuff. Shoot. So that was just, I'm not even giving this a whole bunch of attention, but I'm just like, again, things that it's just more stuff. It's like, I try not to, like I told you, I don't watch the news like that. I'll see pop-ups of things from either Twitter or TMZ or something like that, a highlight of things. But I just try not to give too much attention to these things. I would not. If you are a person who like really is feeding into the news, I would just say like, try your best not to, because stuff is going to happen regardless. And that's why I'm like, I got to just focus on what's going to benefit me and my family right now. And me stressing out about what other folks is doing ain't it. So how can we build each other up and thrive? We have other issues happening that are more important. Speaking of one of those, I just want to quickly highlight the Kawan Charles death.
Yeah.
Yes, 15-year-old boy in Louisiana who went missing. And his family was told that it was a white woman and her son who claimed they were a neighbor, I guess. They had picked him up to hang out with him. The sons were going to hang out or something like that. Parents don't even know who these people are. So they had texted him, called him. He was not responding. They called the police. Police basically was like, maybe he's at a football game or something. He'll show up. They didn't even try to look for him. When they found him, he was found like in a sugarcane field somewhere, face mutilated. They said it was very similar to what happened to Emmett Till. Make no sense. The sheriff department saying that he drowned and there was like only a 1 to 2 feet of water nearby where he was. So that didn't make any sense. So they still don't have answers. And the family has since packed up and moved. So it's a lot of questions there. They've hired an independent autopsy. So that they could get the real of what happened, because everything from the sheriff's department to like it's just a lot of questions where they're like, they feel like he had been lynched based on how there is a viral picture that his mother released of his face because she wanted people to see what really would happen to him.
Like Emmett Till's mom.
I personally did not click on it. Thank the Lord for the thing that they say, graphic image, like let you know that I don't want that visual. I can't do any of that. But if you are, anywhere near this space, just sharing this story and really getting the word out so that they can try to get more answers, as many answers as possible. It's just sad and tragic. Another thing to worry about with our children out here, people will be like, wanting to know what it's like, just to be a Black woman, out here, especially if you're a mother. It's like, we can't think the way everybody else thinks.
Nope.
I can't let my kids just walk even in my neighborhood. I can't just let them walk around by themselves. Like, it's at that point right now.
Or even, they're driving. You're concerned about their safety driving.
Exactly. So
who will pull them over, and the incidents that may occur. You don't know if they'll come back.
Yeah. You can't prepare for that. You can't prepare for that. So
again, we're still faced with two pandemics: racism, and then this global COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly. So, that just want to kind of put that out there, because that is something that is going on right now. And, we don't address every single thing on here, but some things is just like, I just be like, I just gotta
bring it to the forefront.
Yeah. On a positive note
and lighter,
we got some new reading material coming out this week.
Yes. Former President Barack Obama's new book, A Promised Land, which I think this is actually a good timing for it. To me, he's allowed former First Lady of the U.S., Michelle Obama,
forever First Lady.
Yeah, forever. He gave her time and her shine and her glory, right? Mm-hmm. He did not steal it. Like, he allowed her, not saying he allowed, but he gave her the space and the time. Like, I think her book was out, 2 years ago? It's been about 2 years.
Yeah, because it was like December, was that 2018? Because we went to the event in 2018. It came out November 2018. We went to the event in December 2018 when she came to Dallas. And then she's had the whole year of touring and
Netflix special,
all that last year, the Netflix and all that stuff. So she kind of had her whole time to shine. And then also I think it's strategic, obviously, that he put it out after the election, so that, it was already kind of done. They said this book is like 700 and something pages, 750.
Oh, Jesus. I know, but he's a talker and he's a writer. So
exactly. I got the Audible and the hardback on pre-order.
Jesus, I didn't know it was 700. Oh, I might just need to just get the Audible.
I know. I was like, but they said he had some good little juicy stuff up in there. He talks a lot about their marriage and how the presidency affected their marriage and things like that. So very interested to hear just his story after, knowing that he can't run anymore. He's done. So it's not like a political. I feel like the other books is like he was setting up to become the president.
Exactly.
Now it's like, I can't be the president no more. So I hopefully he could keep it 100, and we can learn something new about him that maybe we didn't get a chance to learn while they were in the presidency.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, because Michelle was the one.
She
was his boss.
She's still the boss. Yes.
I'm just saying, like, when we really think about it all, she was killing it before he came along. He was a community organizer. He went to Harvard, all that stuff. But when he came into her life, she was already running things with her.
Which brings us into a great right. Which brings us into a great segue. Like, thinking about it, could he have done this without her?
Good question.
Black women are just remarkable,
aren't we?
The way we get things done, when we unite, when we organize. And I know last week we talked about our Bold Black Girl of the Week being Stacey Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
But Stacey has had to have help to get this done, right?
Yeah, she had a lot of people that she worked with. Her group, Fight for Action, I think it's called. They work with many community organizers all around Georgia and nationally that help contribute to that. So obviously it wasn't just her, but there are other people who've been doing this work for a long time.
Because it was not easy turning a red state blue.
Mm-hmm.
So there had to be a lot of organization. And look what happened when we unite and when we do organize. We come out in the masses. So it also goes back to your point last week, is your vote does matter, right? Mm-hmm. Which goes back to Black lives do matter.
Exactly.
Because we could not have done it without us.
Mm-hmm. So true. I mean, I don't know the exact percentage. I feel like it was 92, 93% of Black women that voted for Biden. And maybe 93%. I can't remember. And Kamala Harris on his side, by his side, helped contribute to that energy as well, because him by himself, that wasn't really energy. I really wasn't interested. And I was like, I really thought Trump was gonna win. If he hadn't picked a black woman, I don't think that he would have gotten this, because you had not only a black woman who has been killing it, with all the justifiable reasons for her to become the vice president, but she's a HBCU alumni. She is a part of a international sorority of powerful women, that is a part of a Divine Nine Greek organization that also helps with that.
Organize.
So, there was just so many pieces to it. And that's something that I think that it kind of sucks, because you'll hear people, did we talk about that last week? When it's like, as soon as someone says like, oh, black women did something, it's like somebody trying to take it away from us. It'll be like, when you
not give us our credit.
Yeah, and it's like always like that. I don't know why. It feels like as soon as you're like, that's why we have to specifically say black women a lot of times, because sometimes you say women of color, and yes, we understand there's a lot of women of color that were a part of change and things like that. But sometimes when we specifically are talking about black women, it's like it's too much shine. It's too much shine on that. It's like, I don't know. It's just it's interesting.
It's like,
we already have issues.
Yeah, they did. It's like, yeah, they did, but it's always but trying to negate this. Like, no, well, let us have our shine. It's like an award ceremony, right? We're going to give you this award because you did good, but you really wouldn't have gotten it without, so it's just like, we are remarkable. So I actually this week participated in a special session at work, and it's called I Am Remarkable. And it's basically a Google initiative. And I think they do this, I want to say they host these workshops. I'm not sure if these workshops are monthly or ongoing, but right now it's a week of, hey, I Am Remarkable. And it's an initiative that empowers women as well as underrepresented groups, right? And basically to celebrate our achievements in the workplace and beyond. And it kind of goes back to what you said, is that number one, whenever we do highlight something about Black women, they negate it and take it from us. But also we have challenges on speaking up and showing how remarkable we are.
Yeah.
And so we don't always brag about the things that we're doing. And Black women are doing some amazing things. And I think we just do it. It's innate in us, right? We take care of everyone.
And I think that psychologically affects us too, right? Where we do it, like you just said, innately, but at the same time, so we don't promote ourselves. We don't put it out there, because then also we were like, well, I ain't trying to be doing too much or whatever. You thinking that somebody else going to do it? Nobody else is necessarily going to do it. I think, like we created the Bold Black Girl of the Month because we're like, we want to amplify these Black women's voices when they probably won't amplify their own voices. They're not going to be out here doing all that. Now you'll get all these other people out here just putting shine. Listen, men don't have issues telling us what
at all.
And nothing against men, but like that's a lot of the stuff where when we talk about negotiation, we talk about just these things like this. They don't have a problem letting you know all the things they've done and lay out all those accolades and letting you know who they are and how they did it and what's going on. We're the ones that'll be like, well, I kind of did, you don't want to like really put it out there. And I told Kim about an example of how my company, they gave us a like this Women in Tech, I think it's the WIT Network memberships. And they were kind of giving us their onboarding presentation, and they were talking about how, all the things they're doing. And they mentioned specifically Black women, how they are targeting that and really trying to amplify Black women's voices. And they found that they had gaps in their own organization that they wanted to correct. And they started making sure they are including Black women and making sure that they're being inclusive, basically. And I commented about it, and I just was like, that is amazing. I really appreciate you guys acknowledging what where you saw there were gaps and things like that and blah, blah. And then I kind of mentioned that I said, on our podcast, we talk about like I just threw it out there, but I didn't really say much. And the lady was like, so after I finished, just giving them their props, she was like, what's the name of your podcast? And I was like, it's called Bold Black Girls. And when we first started this podcast early on last year, I would kind of be hesitant to say it's called Bold Black Girls. I don't, because it's like, that was still scary to just be like, Bold Black Girls. They'll be like, ew. Like, I don't know what people are. So now I'm just like, it's called Bold Black Girls. And we, like, I'm super confident about our podcast because I am too. We have a good platform to just shine a light on Black women and things that are important to us. And so I just got a chance to really talk about the podcast. I talk about how we highlight a woman every month. We just kind of came up with this idea because we're like, women are not doing it enough. And I'm tired of hearing people saying there's no quality out there and no pipeline and all that old foolishness that we keep on hearing. That's just an excuse. And so I was telling Kim so I did that. She asked me, she said, well, I would love to, share your podcast with our network and amplify your voices. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Right. So I sent her the information. And even while I'm sending her information about us, I said, here are some of the Black women that we have highlighted as our Bold Black Girls Month. Feel free to check our YouTube page and see the interviews that we've done with Star Carter. We've done, Minda Harts and Jacqueline Twilley. I'm naming names. And I'm like, these will be great women for you to have as speakers for your organization as well. And I was telling Kim how that cycle of giving and giving back and sharing, and it just is that's something that we have to do for each other. We need to be speaking each other's names in rooms that we're not in that moment. You never know what kind of opportunities will come from that. And it's not just about us. It's really about saying, how can we shine the light on other Black women? So
I love it. I mean, so the workshop, we had to go through an exercise. And so I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this. I Am Remarkable. So, of course, I'm on the side Googling it.
Dark in your neighborhood? Because it's like, I'm like, it got dark.
Hold on, let me turn my light on. So I am like looking on the website because, I love information and I want to be knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what is this? It's 90 minutes. So I go on the website. I see one of my friends, Erica, on the website.
Listen to the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, she's a faithful listener. She will text me every Wednesday, like just something that I said or that we've talked about. So shout out to Erica. She was on the website. But it just goes back to like, we have to speak each other's names. I mean, I think she posted something on Instagram about her favorite podcast. I mean, that's amplifying the word. And just, if we think about things like she runs a lean in circle here. Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, would you all be open to coming in, like maybe doing a networking? And then COVID happened. Yeah. But that's how we get the word out for Black women.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take at all. It doesn't take that much effort to. And here's what it does take. It takes you to be self-aware and it takes you to be secure, because I don't feel like anybody is taking nothing away from me. Nothing gets taken away from me by helping build you up. Period.
It adds.
Because I got my own lane.
Yep. And what's 4 years?
Aries' lane is Aries' lane. Can't nobody run in my lane. And I'm not trying to run in yours because I don't want nobody else's stuff but mine. So that's the heart that I'm always coming from. It's like, how can I build you up? What do you want us to shine a light on for you if we can do it? We don't have a gazillion people listening to our podcast. We don't have, a million followers. None of that. But that's okay, because that's not our purpose. Our purpose is our lane. Our lane works. Our lane works for us.
Like you don't know what the lane will be. You have to switch lanes sometimes because you got to go in the fast lane. So you got to get prepared for that. And I mean, we just have to continue to do it. I love the fact that we're starting to highlight a Bold Black Girl of the Week. Yeah, which this week is Latasha Brown. She's a co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Kind of going back to what I said earlier, Stacey didn't do it by herself. Most times we don't do things by ourselves. It takes someone to help us. It takes a village.
Yes, it does.
And she organized, and that's how she was able to help flip it from red to blue. And I think she went all around those little towns in Georgia, getting the people to come out and turn out the vote. And she also worked with the voter suppression.
Yeah, she is really, she's been doing this for a long time, and she will get buses and put people in them buses and take them to go vote. That's one of the
Right?
things that she's known for, is like picking folks up on the bus and driving them down to the polls.
I love
So
it.
you need people like that.
You
Everybody
do.
that's her lane. That's her passion. That's her area that she's been loving. So I love that,
And
because
that's our purpose.
it mattered. That definitely mattered, especially in this Georgia situation. So I love that. And like I said, and like we both said, I just love to highlight Black women. I'm sorry. This is literally a passion of mine. And I find that as we were listening to church today, and Pastor was talking about things that we, say are our purpose or whatever it is. And it's like, is it amplifying God? Is it, bringing people closer to Him? Is it, really in the realm of what we should be doing? And I do feel like that's what we doing is God's work. It is literally a part of God's work, because it's selfless work. It's not work that we're trying to really get people to be on us for anything. I'm not.
Yes.
I don't want to be famous, to be honest. I want to be the person behind the scenes that got money. I do.
Well, exactly. Because everyone has an opinion. And just think about how we talk about Ready to Own. Like
love.
Yeah, Ready to Love. I keep saying Ready to Own. Ready to Love on OWN. I don't need to be famous. But I do want to amplify other Black women, because we aren't amplified enough.
Especially as women like us who aren't scared to talk. I feel like He gave me this mouth for a reason. It ain't just to be running it.
What Oprah say, she used to talk too much in school. Now look at her.
Same here. I still got my report cards from, I got them from 2nd grade, 3rd grade. Guess what? Every single report card that I have had says a comment from my teacher on the side. Talks a lot in class, or very talkative, something of that nature. That is literally a part of I used to get in trouble for talking, laughing, things like
that. I wish I would have kept my my report card. I don't. When I moved, I think we dumped it. I'm like, what am I going to need this for?
You keep that for history.
I know.
But no, yes. So we're all about that. That's literally all we're going to do. So if you don't like that, then you don't want to listen to this podcast, because that's exactly what we do. And like you just said, the O in bold for our podcast is organizing safe spaces for these courageous conversations, but also organizing, period. Right. So Latasha Brown is definitely an example of someone who has organized really her entire career in this space. This is her space. I appreciate people like that. I appreciate people who are in spaces that I never even knew needed to be had,
Right.
This week, me and the boys, I homeschool the boys, and I have a subscription box of Because of Them We Can that comes to us.
Yes.
This month's was Fannie Lou Hamer. So I had them, we read the lesson, we learned about her, all the things that she's done with specifically voting rights and things like that. Was her passion, right? That was her area. And I had them go, because a lot of things I didn't know, but happened in 1964. So part of our homework assignment was, go and do some research online on other civil rights things that happened in 1964, and then write a paragraph about whatever that thing was, so that they could learn how to research things for themselves. That's a part of that too. But they got to learn about her and things that they watch videos of hers on YouTube, of her going to testify in front of the Democratic Party, how they didn't give Black people seats during the national convention. Just all these things that I learned. I'm like, I didn't know none of that. Like, I knew who she was, but I didn't know really what she had done, and how like Malcolm X had opened up for her, and how her and Lyndon B. Johnson had this back and forth, and who knows how much of her influence, influenced him during all the civil rights, voting rights acts and all these different things that happened during that time. So always somebody that is out there trying to advocate for others, other Black folks,
Yes.
I see, Black women that were doing as much as they could. You had your Shirley Chisholm, who was the first one that was out there trying to run for president and different things like that. And now, You know, those little seeds planted, yes, it takes time sometimes, but somebody had to start.
Yeah, somebody had to be the one.
Somebody had to start. So we might be the little start for some other podcast that's going to come up and blow up. Right.
Right.
So we don't know. So just thank you all who all support us. Because you are supporting Black women in doing that.
Amazing. I love it.
So yes. Anything else you got?
I do. So as part of my workshop of I Am Remarkable, what we're going to tag this episode is Black Women Are Remarkable. In that workshop, it was an exercise where we went around. Well, she gave us a few minutes to really just think about what are some of the things or accomplishments that we want to highlight or achievements that makes us remarkable, right? And everyone was very unique and diverse. I was the only Black woman on the call among white women. Because I'm in a tech company, so it's not a lot of us. And they did bring up underrepresented minorities and, the biases. And like, I've had challenges highlighting my accomplishments until about 5 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I'm less than that, to be honest with you. Way less
really?
than 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I realized that not speaking up, closed mouth doesn't get fed. And then I had to be strategic and creative and how I toot my own horn. And so the exercise was to go around and say something about, or just highlight something about yourself professionally and personally that makes you remarkable.
Mm.
So I'll share with you what mine was during the call.
Okay.
It was personally, it was, I am remarkable because I didn't lose or gain weight during COVID, right?
Somebody, that's remarkable.
Right. If people are gaining weight during COVID, I managed not to gain any weight.
Amen.
Professionally, I think I highlighted I am remarkable because I got this job after being at a job for 20 years, right?
Yes, you are. Because everybody don't want to change. I mean, you could have been stuck and stagnant.
Yeah. And then there are people who would like to, move on, and it's not just happening for them right now. Right. So I was able to do it on the first try.
Yes.
All thanks to God.
Come on, somebody. Let's see. I am remarkable because I took a risk, so personally, to homeschool my children during the pandemic and beyond at this point, which a lot of people are like, girl, you crazy.
I think it's wonderful because you control the narrative.
Yes. And it's really been a blessing for me and my boys. They love it. It's building their confidence, especially LJ. He's able to customize his learning plan and not just be put in this box that was making him so frustrated with school. Like it wasn't working for him the way that it was going. So just to be able to be the type of mom that would do that. I mean, it is hard for you to say it. Like, I know this is a part of the exercise because I'm like, it's so hard to like give yourself
exactly. No,
like I know that that's a God-given gift of mine for him to like give me the desire to want to do it. Because people still sending them kids to school, and I ain't mad at you because I be seeing them right here across the street. They all right there. What about professionally? I am remarkable because I'm not a quitter.
I love it.
I've been battered and bruised in the workplace. And I just keep on going. I'm in a job that I've never done before. I'm in a career that I've never even really, I don't have the experience for it, to be honest with you. And I'm just willing to try new stuff. I'm willing to try myself. So, yeah.
I am proud of you. So I challenge, and I think I would say the call to action is practice that, right?
Yes.
As Black women, and track it. So like for me, I love notes and stuff. So I would say start a Google Doc, write it in your notebook, your journal, hashtag I am remarkable. Mm-hmm. And every week write something that you feel like makes you remarkable. I mean, I think everyone's is going to be very unique. So take it from there, because that way, when you track your accomplishments, you can look back and see what I've overcome or what I've accomplished. And also professionally, if you break it out personally and professionally, when your review time comes up, you have a list of everything that you've done professionally that you can put in your PDR or your performance review.
And I like this because also when you feel down, you can come back to this and be like, wait a minute,
I did this.
Yeah, I got some things to be grateful for. I have some things to be proud of myself about, because there's some days where you just be like, I suck. This is trash, because I'm going to tell you, this job, it's been hard. Like, it's a lot I've had to learn. Everybody keeps saying it's a ramp up. It's going to take at least this much time, forgive yourself and all this stuff. I'm very competitive and I'm like super wanting to be like the star and everything. That's something I had to work with God on, because I'm like, is it just because I want to be like, what am I needing? What am I thirsty for?
Yes.
And so, but being patient with myself and allowing myself to learn and to be okay messing up sometimes, a little bit. Yep. and stuff like that. So you can beat yourself up so much that we don't give ourselves props enough. So being able to go back and look at that and saying, hey,
look what I did. Yeah, I am pretty remarkable. And I know we always write down, hey, what we're grateful for. Mm-hmm. Put a little down there to say what makes you remarkable.
I like it.
Because now that I think about it, I'm like, the more you practice, the more you become more comfortable with tooting your own horn. And it's not necessarily you being boastful. Yeah. It's just showing, like they said, it's really, if it's a fact, I mean, so it's a fact. It is a fact. Yeah,
exactly. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, I like this. I got some ideas. I'm going to start writing some stuff down, because I do think we need to do that more. It'll help us a lot be able to represent ourselves better in different places, especially if you're looking for a new job, whatever. You start writing those accomplishments down, looking at those wins that you've gotten, where you're like, hey, I helped do this particular project, or I helped with this, build this amount of revenue and all these different things. So start tracking it so that you can keep that in mind. So,
and then last but not least, I want to go back to your part about you being remarkable as a homeschool. Like, that is game changing. You've changed the whole narrative in terms of his confidence will be boosted because you are feeding into him. I actually had a conversation with someone who was having some challenges with the school because he feels that as though the teacher does not like him. So that can negatively impact the learning. So it's already going to be game changer for LJ.
I will tell whoever that is, take action immediately. Because I always want my kids to know that, like, I have your back. I don't care what nobody else is talking about.
Exactly.
My son in the second grade told me that when he said, my mom said, do you feel like your teacher likes you? And he went like, and I was like, you're out. You're out of there. You're not about to be in no class with nobody who you don't think likes you, and he didn't really feel like she liked, and I didn't feel like she liked him. I feel like she felt like it was a burden because he's dyslexic, and it was to take a little bit more for her to accommodate him. And she was treating him, that weekend he was out. Monday, doing a new class. And that's not the first time. I've done it with Marvin in classes where I moved him into all kind of stuff, because your kids want to feel like you are taking
care
and advocating for them. You may not be able to homeschool your kids or whatever, but those little things right there and being present and knowing what's going on with those teachers and at the school is very big. And the kids, it builds their confidence up, knowing like, my mom not about to let nobody do me no kind of way. It's a different way they're going to hold themselves in class and all that. So I'm really big on that. So now it's like, I don't have to be mad at the school, because we can change. If this don't work this week, guess what? We doing something else. We just, change,
Well, just even the fact that you have this because of the weekend box, they're already being exposed to Black history, which they were not being exposed to.
Yep, exactly. So that's kind of a fun way that I'm able to incorporate that into our lessons, and just being like, today we're doing history. I'm the teacher today, whatever. And they give you assignments that you can give the kids and stuff like that. So it's really fun. And I'm just blessed that God has allowed me to have a career that's flexible, being able to work from home, being able to do it. So I'm definitely grateful. That's one of my grateful things, that I'm able to do it, because I know everybody can't. And so anywho, thank you for that. And do not forget to subscribe to our newsletter, which our newsletter kind of sucks right now. So if you're subscribed to a newsletter, don't worry. We about to make Kiera start working on our newsletter. I'm putting it on the podcast so she feels accountable.
Exactly.
So giving her something to do to help with the Bold Black Girls. We just haven't had a lot of time to work on it. But sign up, subscribe, share the podcast with your friends. And we got a couple new listeners from the Peloton group.
Yay!
They do this thing where they'll have you promote your business like on a Monday, every second Monday or something like that. You can promote your business in the group. And a couple people were like, I'm gonna go check out, I said, check out the Bold Black Girls podcast. And so
I love it. I'm inspired, and now I want a Peloton treadmill.
Well, use my referral code so that I can get $100 worth of apparel credit.
And anyone else who on this podcast who's listening, reach out for the referral code.
Exactly. If y'all thinking about getting a Peloton, hit me up. I'll give you the referral code because I want to get me some Peloton gear so I can be out here representing. But see, I'm already a part of the
community.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. Check us out next week. We'll be getting ready for Thanksgiving. So start getting your thoughts together on what you're grateful for and thankful for. We'll be doing that. We got a couple of, we'll probably have a couple more guests. And we only got like 4 weeks left. Hold on. We got, what is this? So we got like 1, 2.
About 6 weeks.
We do have a special guest next week for our Bold Black Girl of the Month. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only got 4 more weeks of our podcast. We're going to take Christmas off the last 2 weeks of the year just for a break and come back in January. So we only got 4 more episodes left. We got a Bold Black Girl this month and then one next month and we're gone. So all right, y'all. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. We'll have a bold week and we will see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.